Hey guys, it's Katie. Welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you're here. It's another end of the month and you guys know what that means. We are going to be picking out the TBR for the next month, which is June. That is literally insane to me. How is it already June? There are a few pretty exciting book releases coming out in June. We have Ashley Poston's novel Love Story coming out June 25th, which I'm really excited about. Maybe we'll try and get to the 7-year slip that's on here then. I've said in other videos that I was holding out on reading that and putting it on the TBR because I wanted to read it with my book club, but we all just decided that we're just gonna read it individually or just something we can all talk about after we all read it. And then we also have Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. It's coming out on June 11th, which is so soon. Those are the two that I feel like I'm most excited for. I thought there was one more, but I can't think of it. I'll go ahead and leave it somewhere on the screen if I find it after or like while I'm editing this video or something. This is editing me. So I'm very excited for those and hopefully I can get to those sometime this month of June, if not hopefully in July, which July there's an incredibly excited release coming out that I cannot wait to talk about, but we'll leave that for July. Okay, let's let July be July. If you've never watched one of these videos, basically I have this entire jar full of TBR jar prompts. I pick out a prompt, I read the prompt, and I pick a book from my TBR cart that is very nice and full because of my really bad addiction to buying books, and I pick a book based off of the prompt that I chose. And every time I pick a prompt from this jar, it goes in here so we're not reusing prompts for videos. So we have all new prompts in here that you guys haven't heard from any of my videos. And we refilled it a few months ago. I guess I do still have quite a few left, but if you ever have any ideas for prompts for the TBR jar videos, leave them down in the comments down below. I feel like it's always super fun to add new prompts to kind of like spice things up. Normally I pick anywhere from like 5 to 8-ish prompts. It just kind of depends on the books as we pick them, how long they are, what genres they are, if they can work for reading vlogs, all of that kind of stuff. I actually got my jammies on today. We're just chilling at my cute little Happy Place crew neck. I'm just feeling really fun and fresh. Got a little half slicked up bun. It's kind of giving me cauliflower vibes. And I'm wearing my new blue light glasses, which are green, and I absolutely love them, but I'm mainly wearing them because I messed up my makeup. So now you can't see it. And you wouldn't have known unless I told you, so I don't even know why I told you. Anyways, let's pick our first prompt. A book with magic. I feel like we've gotten this one before. Let me go ahead and check my other prompts because I swear I've chosen this one before. Okay, I definitely have done this one before. I wrote these all at 2 different times. So like the colored ones are like the newer ones and the white ones are the older ones that I wrote. Since I've done that one before, we're gonna go ahead and pick again. A book by a favorite author. I feel like this is a really great prompt because I do have a lot of freedom and I have quite a few favorite authors. This is the 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. I read The Dead Romantics by her last year, I think in fall time, and I absolutely loved it and fell in love with her writing. So I'm actually really curious to see if I enjoy this one just as much. Sometimes whenever you only read one book by one author, I don't know, I kind of get a little nervous that I'm not gonna like another book by her as much. And I also talked about this at the beginning about wanting to read it, so this is an option. We also have Powerless by Elsie Silver. This is the 3rd one in the Interconnected Standalone Chestnut Spring series, and I've just been flying through these. Her writing is just so good. I absolutely love these. And then we have The Friend Zone by Abby Jimenez. You guys know I have 2 5-star books from her, and I just have been eating up her writing this past year, so this is an option. My cart's looking a little wacky right now, don't mind that. I literally just read an Abby Jimenez book, like that was the last book that I finished, so I don't think I'm gonna pick this one right now. So it's gonna be between Powerless and the 7-Year Slip, which are both like really great options. I think I'm gonna pick the 7-Year Slip. I really want to read it. I've heard like amazing things about it. I'm literally so excited. Okay, first book is The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. Prompt number 2, a book with a love triangle. Do I have any on here? I know the Natural series kind of has a love triangle in it. This is the 2nd one in the series. It's called Killer Instincts. Does Powerless have a love triangle? Because I still really want to read this. Okay, I think this actually does have a love triangle. Apparently she's like engaged to be married, but there's like somebody else. I don't know exactly what happens or anything like that, but I don't know, I'm interested to see. I already talked about Elsie Silver's writing a little bit, but I just love it. So effortless, so just easy to binge, and I could just imagine binging this on my deck or at the pool because our pool is about to open at our apartment complex, because her writing is just so bingeable. These books are such great palate cleansers. And again, they are cowboy romances, but I actually think he's a hockey player. I want to say she's like a ballerina, but I don't think that's right. I don't know, but it's bound to be good because I've literally enjoyed the other 2 so much, and I am actually so excited that I have an excuse to put this on my TBR. Okay, 2 romances so far. Let's go ahead and pick the 3rd prompt. A Kindle Unlimited book. So this prompt basically means that I can pick a book that's just on Kindle Unlimited, or I can pick a book that is on Kindle Unlimited that's also physically on my TBR. And we actually do have quite a few options. Powerless would have been one of the options because that's also on Kindle Unlimited. I do know that Things We Left Behind, which is the 3rd book in the Knock 'Em Out series by Lucy Score, is on Kindle Unlimited. These are small town romances. I don't know if I really want to pick this one though. They're kind of long and they just get like drawn out a little bit. I read the 2nd second one, I think like a month ago. And these are like fine. Like I don't really like love these. They're just kind of like mid for me. So I don't really know if I want to pick this one right now. Although this is probably the one that I'm like most excited about. And I already have 2 romances and one of them is like more of like a small town one and they're kind of like similar. So I'm gonna put this one back. The Final Offer and Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher are also on Kindle Unlimited. These are like billionaire romances, but they also kind of give off the same vibes. So I don't really know if I want to pick those. The Curse of the Wolf King by Tisanya Odette is on Kindle Unlimited, I'm pretty sure. Let me check. Hi Luke, I'm filming a video. Okay, it looks like it is on Kindle Unlimited, so this is an option. This is a series and they're all princess retellings. This one is based off of Beauty and the Beast and it's a fairy tale fantasy. I love fairy tale fantasies and I feel like I need to read more of them, so that's why I bought this. The first one that I ever read was Once Upon a Broken Heart and I absolutely ate it up. I loved it so much and I love like Disney and princesses and all things like that, so this is a great option. We also have The Heartless Hunter, which is a brand new addition to the TBR. If I can get it out. Okay, this is by Kristen Cicerelli. I think that's how you say her last name. And I know for sure this one's on Kindle Unlimited. I heard Rachel Catherine talk about this recently and I'm pretty sure it's like a witch fantasy. Like there's a witch and then there's a witch hunter and I don't know if it's enemies to lovers. I think it is enemies to lovers. Yep, it literally says right like the first words in the description. Okay, and on the back it's recommended by Rachel Gillig and Rebecca Ross, which are 2 great authors as well. I don't think there are any other books that are on the cart right now that are on Kindle Unlimited that I'm really interested in reading at this moment in time. It's so hard though because like I want them both to be on the TBR. Like I want to read both of these this month and obviously there might be another prompt that might work for one of these books, so now I'm just kind of like which one could fit into more prompts. I was gonna pick Curse of the Wolf King just because I wanted to read this for a while. Sarah Caroli talked about this, I think like about a year ago she started talking about this series on her channel, and I feel like since it's a fairy tale fantasy it like fits more like a summer mood, but I just, ever since Rachel Catherine talked about this book and just raved about it so much, I just want to read it so bad. So we're gonna read The Heartless Hunter by Kristen Cicerelli, and hopefully this will end up on the monthly TBR anyways. Let's go ahead and pick our next prompt. A number in the title. Does Heartstopper Volume 5 count? I'm gonna let it count actually. Do I have any other ones? Two Twisted Crowns. I literally don't have any other options besides Two Twisted Crowns and Heartstopper Volume 5. And I'm gonna pick Heartstopper Volume 5. I have been itching to read this. I read the first 4, I think it was in the month of April. I just absolutely ate them up and loved them so much. They were such easy reads while I was going through my wisdom teeth recovery. And I wanted to take a little bit of a break because I literally love them so much and I don't want it to be over. And the 6th one's coming out soon. It's gonna be the last one, but I also don't know exactly when the 6th one comes out. So when I finish this, I'm literally gonna be so impatiently waiting for the 6th one. These are actually graphic novels and I absolutely eat them up. They're such fun like palette cleansers. They're so quick and easy and they're so cutie and fun. They're in high school. It's about 2 boys named Nick and Charlie and it gives me those butterfly feelings that Better Than the Movies did whenever like Wes and Liz had their love story and like going through the process of falling in love for the first time. This gives me that same feeling, but there's also a lot of deep stuff that gets talked about later in the book, so definitely check trigger warnings if you're interested in reading this. I feel like you wouldn't expect a graphic novel to touch on topics like that, but they do, and they are so good. I am so excited to be reading this month. Okay, 4 books so far, 2 romances, 1 graphic novel, and 1 fantasy. I feel like in the summer months I'm just in more of a romance mood, so let's try and pick another romance and then maybe 1 other fantasy or a mystery just to have like a little bit more variety, especially because I also want to read the new releases that are coming out. So let's pick our next one, a book under 300 pages. These 2 look very skinty. We have The Storied Life of A.J. Fickery and The Wishing Game. These are both literary fiction, I believe. The Wishing Game has 278 and The Storied Life of A.J. Fickery has 258. And we don't have a literary fiction on here. Honestly, I don't read a lot of literary fiction, so I've been wanting to get more into it. That's why both of these are on my cart right now. I think I'm gonna pick The Storied Life of A.J. Fickery. I've been wanting to read a Gabrielle Zevin book for quite some time. It's about A.J. Fickery, who owns a bookstore, and I think there's like a subplot of romance and like a little bit of mystery or something. I don't know. I don't really know too much about it. I just heard Haley Pham like rave about it, and again, I just really want to read a Gabrielle Zevin book, so I feel like this would be perfect. Okay, we have a really great selection so far. Let's go ahead and pick the 6th book and then kind of go from there to see if we're gonna pick another one. A recent purchase. Okay, I have quite a few recent purchases on here. I feel like I did 2 pretty big book hauls, one in May and one in April, and I already have 2 books from my most recent book haul on the TBR, Powerless and The Heartless Hunter. I could pick The Curse of the Wolf King. I could pick One for My Enemy, The Friend Zone, Half a Soul, Sorcery of Thorns, The Wishing Game, The Inheritance Games. I think I'm between between Half a Soul and Sorcery of Thorns. These are two fantasy books. This one is like a Regency fantasy, which Bridgerton season 3 came out recently. So I'm in the mood for Regency everything. So I feel like this would be pretty fun. It's also pretty short. Oh my gosh. Is it like less than 250 pages? It's 239 pages. I don't know why it looked bigger than that, but 239 pages. But this is like a Regency fantasy, and I think it's a series too. And then Sorcery of Thorns is basically described as a fantasy book with like a magical library. That's all I really know about it. And I've been wanting to read these two for quite some time, but I think I'm gonna pick Half a Soul just because of the Regency-ness of it all. I feel like I'm just really gonna eat this up and enjoy this so much. And I feel like this is another one that I could just binge. I'm actually kind of obsessed with my TBR this month. No idea what videos I'm gonna be filming from it, but I will be eating up all of these books. And I think I am gonna stick with 6 books this month just because we do have some new releases coming out and because I wanna make sure I have a little bit more freedom to mood read. We're just gonna try 6 this month and see how it goes. Let's go ahead and recap our prompts and our books for our June TBR. The first prompt was a book by a favorite author. I chose a book by Ashley Poston, and this is The 7-Year Slip. So excited to read this. Then a book with a love triangle, Powerless by Elsie Silver. The third prompt was a Kindle Unlimited book, and I chose The Heartless Hunter by Kristen Cicerelli. Next up is a book with a number in the title. I chose Heartstopper Volume 5. Literally getting giddy thinking about reading that one. A book under 300 pages. I chose The Storied Life of A.J. Fickery by Gabrielle Zevin. And then the final prompt was a book that was a recent purchase, and I chose Half a Soul by Olivia Atwater, and I am just so excited for my Bridgerton fantasy dreams to come true. Let's go ahead and put our prompts in the baggie so we know not to use them next time. Okay, here are all 6 of the books that are on my TBR for the month of June. I'm literally so excited. I feel like we have a really great range of books and books that I've been wanting to get to for a while, and I'm also just so excited for the new releases coming out in June too that I mentioned at the beginning. So I feel like June's gonna be a pretty good reading month. Let me know down below if you guys have any ideas for reading vlogs for these books, videos, anything like that. If you have any thoughts on these books, non-spoiler of course. Any books you're like screaming at me to read from this cart, especially if they've been on there for a while, because I literally need the motivation to read them. Let me know down below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. What else is there? If you watched until this point, go ahead and comment down below the blue heart emoji so I know who the real ones are who stayed until the very end of the video. If you want to keep up with me on the daily, go ahead and follow my TikTok, my Instagram, and my Goodreads, especially my Goodreads if you want to keep up with what I'm reading in real time. And I think that's it. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. I love you so, so much, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. Ew. That felt weird. Oh my god, I'm literally sweating.